Our next person was born and raised in Brooklyn, graduated from Cornell University, and started naval flight training right out of college. He received his wings January of 1968 and served on active duty during the Vietnam War, flying more than 450 missions as a Huey helicopter gunship pilot, supporting the Navy SEALs. I mean, wow. He was a flight instructor flying the A-4 Skyhawk aircraft in Meridian, Mississippi, and was promoted to the rank of captain. He left active duty for the Naval Reserves, where he served from 1975 to 1987 and was the commanding officer of the DC-9 Squadron based in Glenview Naval Air Station in Glenview, Illinois. Though he had noticed the airport and runway in Gary as he flew over it and wondered why there was no activity there, he first visited that facility back in the spring of 1989. That started a journey that involved owning and running the regional airline and finally moving his family to Northwest Indiana. When the airline moved its operation to Midway, he opted out and focused his energy on developing and running the Gary Jet Center, which has grown and thrived. What other people saw as risks, he saw as opportunities, and he was proved right. Concentrating on the Gary Jet Center was a good move. Now we just need to continue to clear the hurdles so other airlines can join this airport. I first met this man through the John Will Anderson and Boys and Girls Organization, an organization he has tirelessly worked within in terms of providing service and human and financial investment. In fact, you can blame him for all this talk about the tallest thing that you guys hear, because he is the co-chair of the Capitol campaign with me. Please help me extending my sincere congratulations to a man that I feel is a very good friend, Will Davis. Will?
I always thought if you're going to win, you have to run with winners, and I've been very lucky to do that. Not only from the staff and the company, but also from my family. And I'm going to mention just a few quick names. I don't want them to stand or anything, but they know who they are. But we have grown over the 20 years, and you couldn't do it without the people who make it happen every day. Ben Tolles, our general manager, started with me about 18 years ago when we started loading and unloading freight together at night. Ben's still doing that. In fact, he's not feeling real well, but he showed up today, and I really appreciate it. From the ops side, we have Doug Worsley, who just recently qualified us for worldwide operations, which is a big deal. If you don't understand it, we can charter airplanes around the world. We manage 10 of them right now. And it's hard to get that qualification. We have Fred Osterhoff, our director of maintenance, who keeps us safe and in compliance with the FAA. We have Cynthia Polk, who's sitting down here, our customer service manager. These are the people that make it happen all the time. Mike Martinez, our accounts manager, keeps us out of trouble. And without these people, we would not have what we have. We have a relationship with the Boeing company, and people don't understand what that means for the airport. When they decided to come to Gary, they gave this airport a tremendous amount of credibility. I mean, they brought their executive flight operations, and representing Boeing today is my boss that I report to over there, Mike Webling. And they have been just a tremendous asset. Just the presence that they're here shows the rest of the country that Gary Airport is a place to work out of, and that's why we've grown. Several years ago, we were out of room, and I decided that I really needed to build another hangar, and it wasn't going very well. But my next door neighbor, Pat Lee, who had already remodeled our home on the lake, we were sitting on the deck, and I said to him, "You know how to build a hangar?" And he said, "Will, it's just a box." And I said, "Well, can you help me?" And our good friend Tom Collins and him jumped in and helped Lynn and I, and we built one 3 years ago. We filled it up, and we just finished another one. So it's the relationships that you have with these kind of people who are the winners, who bring the equation as far as completion, and they're able to get you through some tough spots. You can't know everything. You can't know how to do it. You don't know how to do everything, but if you hang with the people who know how to do it and you listen to them, you're going to have success. From the family side of the equation, our youngest daughter, Lynn, is my managing partner. She joined the firm 10 years ago, and without Lynn's help, we wouldn't be in the expansion mode that we've been in, successful mode. In conclusion, I just want to mention the one person who's made it possible, and like Linda, it's the family. My first wife and current wife, Jean, of 45 years, of 45 years, has always supported my ambitions. And when I was thinking about it, hell, we moved 14 times the first 7 years in the Navy, and most people don't move once in 14 years. And at the time, we raised our family and got it going. But I have a quick little story about how this woman has supported my ambitions. And it's a true story. I'm not embellishing it. I know Navy pilots start to go like this, and here I was upside down. But this is a true story. I was in the crop spraying business in Bluffton, Indiana. I had a helicopter, and in 1976, we bought it and had a pretty good year. In 77, there was a big infestation of this insect called the corn rootworm beetle, and I had the only machine that could kill these little critters. And it was kind of like being an electrician with the only copper wire in town, or a plumber with the only wrench. It was me, and I was very fortunate to be in the right place at the right time. So as it happened, it was just a tremendous amount of work, and it was very profitable. And I'm talking $1977. So I was working just countless hours, 4 or 5 in the morning, get going, work all day, spray all day, come home, work on the equipment, get to home at 11 o'clock, get up at 3 or 4, and again. It went on for 4 weeks. This one day, about the 4th week, I got up and I just sat at the end of the bed, exhausted. And it was even hard to move because you're strapped into this helicopter, but I was making a lot of money. I mean, it was driving it. So Jean saw me sitting there and she said, "Will, you're going to kill yourself." She said, "You know, you're tired, you're worn out, you need to come back and lay down with me and get some rest." And I sat at the end of the bed and I said, "Jean, I have 2 choices. I can either lay back down with you and get some rest, or basically get up and fly and make about $5,000 today." And there was silence. And then a few seconds later, it seemed like eternity, she said, "You know, Will, on second thought, you need to fly today. I'll get your coffee." Thank you very much.